Let me introduce to you our next speaker or presenter this afternoon. He holds a Master of Arts degree in literature from the Cebu Normal University. He has been an educator at the Talisay City College since 2013 and has held the position of Performing Arts Coordinator since 2018. In 2020, he assumed the position of coordinator at the Cultural Affairs Office at the same institution. Presently, he actively collaborates with a local government unit to preserve the culture and history of Talisay City, Cebu. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Joseph Luis D. Tormes.
Mayong adlaw. Ako di ay si Joseph. My friends call me si Ploy. Nagpaila-ila jud ko sa. So I am from Talisay, and when we say Talisay, ang pinaka first yun nga masuds nung unahuna is Lechon. But my study is actually I would like to say we are just starting. This is actually a very ambitious project for our office. Kay what we were planning manggod is to actually map out the evolution of Lechon, not just in Talisay but also in Cebu, and how it propagated in the entire Philippines. But right now, we are still focusing on Talisay because as teachers, maglisod sad. And of course, we are in the academy. And one thing that we found out, kaya I'm not from Talisay man, I am from San Fernando, ang amog yung nabantayan is that the younger generation of the city of Talisay actually knows what Lechon is but does not know its historical importance. Even some of the heroes in Talisay, wala kay sila nakibaw. So mo na nga, with my colleague, Mr. Bascon, we actually made it a sort of promise to the city to at least create something. As we actually started with the module so that to be given sa elementary or maybe high school so that it would be included in their local histories. So our module will actually emphasize not on the recipe of lechon. Some of you might be wondering on say special ingredients sa lechon sa Talisay, but we will be emphasizing on how lechon developed how lechon developed with the development of the city. So, next slide, sir. Okay, a comprehensive discussion of lechon will be undervalued if we will not talk about the importance of the baboy. The baboy is, when we talk about pre-colonial Filipinos, when I was in elementary, niya nato kung may sasaw na nga, mga Muslim kuno tang mga Cebuano kuno. And when I was in college, my professor told me nga no, pre-colonial Cebuanos already have an existing culture when it comes to pig roasting. And in Talisay, we have what we call the baboy and the suhong. The baboy, namely the wild pig, while the suhong is the domesticated kind. And when we talk about suhong, there is actually a contention that one of the barangays of Talisay, namely Kansohong, is derived from the term suhong. But again, amo pa nang gitanaw kay ang popular manggod nga version is that it is taken from Chinese nga name. So amo pa nang tanawon pa. Mumukuan lang ko. Next slide. So the prevalence of pork as a dietary staple among the early Cebuanos underscores the remarkable abundance of pig herds that once freely roamed the fertile lands of Cebu and Talisay during that epoch. And when we talk about Talisay, karon din nakita makabantay ana, but Talisay is actually abundant when it comes to water. We actually call it as an aqua city, but majority of the rivers there nahimo ng kanal. And then, ang mga rice fields dito, nahimo ng subdivision. There is still a very big lagod in Puok nga natakuban naglapo karon, but surrounded now with subdivision kay padung naman wa. We actually talked with one of the farmers dito kay nagyaw-yaw siya luoy taong kayo kay wala naman say katamnan ba. So, kato na lang yun nga patch sa kuan ang nahabilin dito sa Talisay yun. And sadly, it is murag padung na sa tumawa. Next slide, sir. So next, we have the European encounter. When we talk about the influence of the Spaniards in our cuisine, dili kinato makuan class, dili kinato makuan ang importance yun on how the arrival of the Spaniards actually changed the way we prepare the food. In the aspect of lechon, sana kulbaan ko da. In the aspect of the lechon, what was really introduced was the leche, which later on became the predecessor of what we call as the lechon. But the idea for the asal and the inasal is already pre-existing. Then the sinugba, which is katong gihiwa na nga mga baboy, is gigamit sad for rituals. When we talk about pre-colonial culture, the baboy is actually very important kay during pagpanganak, na kamatayon, it is actually a big part of the sacrifices of the rituals of pre-colonial Filipinos. Mabitaw na nga during the transition of lechon, we understood nga it was not very difficult for us kay we were already eating lechon. We are already eating baboy. Ang nahinan lang is ang preparation and the approach of the food. Next slide, sir. Please, sir. So its role transcended from being a delectable food source to a key participant in sacred ceremonial rites, further underscoring its centrality in the cultural fabric of the region. This historical narrative illuminates the intricate interplay between food culture and religion in the fascinating tapestry of the Cebuano heritage, especially during the arrival of Pigafetta, in which he chronicled how a sinugba or a roasted pork was presented under banana leaf, but the description was very nindot kay pagka-describe nga showcasing that the best food on that was given to the Spaniards was actually the sinugba nga baboy. Slide, sir. So, lechon and the city. Asan ako? So, in the fertile lands of Talisay, native pigs roamed freely. Interestingly, the name Kansohong, katong gisulti na ganiha, could have been derived from the word sohong. During the Spanish period, Talisay appeared to have already embraced a pig-based economy where the sale and roasting of pigs constituted a significant source of income. Moreover, it was documented that merchants from Parian, particularly the Chinese traders, engaged in commerce with the people of Talisay. They produced various products including crops and animal meat with a preference for pigs to fuel their businesses in the city. According to our research, the development of lechon in Talisay started with three important Spanish figures. Before manggod, Talisay was a visita of San Nicolas. So nagpadag representative ang Spain dito. We don't know the name of these individuals yet, but we know nga tulo ni sila kabuok. We have the priest, the administrator, and the representative of the Augustinian order. And of course, if you are a Spaniard living in the Philippines, far away from home, mingawan sad siguro ka sa mga chicks ni mo dito or maybe your family members. And one of the closest thing that would bring you to home is, of course, your food. So nostalgia is actually a very big factor. And of course, there is the makina de vapor found in Old Dog. Dito man na nila, dito mas laga stay dito. They taught the process of making the lechon using the available ingredients during that time sa mga kusineros and bodegueros sila dito, and that was where we started with the culture of roasting lechon. And of course, the creation of the town in 1834 also pushed the cooking of lechon, because its creation man good, especially nato mga Pinoy, we are very religious. So pag-create sa lungsod, what happened is that danay pista. So pag pista, of course, when we think about lechon, ang pinakaunag yung masustong nahuna is that if you put that to the table, then the table would look better. Diba? Pwede ra gyud way lechon, but if kung naagali, murag nindot yung kaitan-ahon, yun murag, the lechon is the centerpiece of any handa. Wala gyud lechon nga gibutang luyo sa bangira, gawas kung di ka ganahan sa nangaon siguro dili pa importante nga bisita, but oftentimes i-display gyud nag-una nga may pinakauna nga makita gyud, and it is the creation of the town that added to this. Next slide, sir. So, where pa sir, bukuan pa. So next, the American occupation. The arrival of the Americans in Talisay in 1889 marked a significant transitional period in the town's history. For a year, there have been a vacuum of foreign political rulers since the leaders of the Talisay Revolution did not assume leadership. And what happened, because when the Spaniards left, a new religion actually came about, and that is what we call as the Aglipayan faith. In Kansohong, there is still an existing Aglipayan church, which is actually lingaw kayo kay wala sila distinction dito between Kristiyano o Katoliko. Kay during the pandemic, ang mga Kristiyano mahadlok naman mo sa poblasyon. So pag Pasko, dito sila nanimba sa simbahan sa mga aglipay. So murag, murag kuan lang, murag ay, okay ra sila dito. And what happened during the creation of the Aglipayan faith is that this time duha na kabuk ang pista sa Talisay, further elevating the need for pork in the city. And what happened pagyod during the American occupation is that it brought about an economic boom in the city of Talisay or town during the time. And what happened was that roads and bridges were built. And then if there are roads and bridges, then that means nga the city would actually prosper. And during this time, Talisay, sa mga wala nakibaw diri, but Talisay is actually one of the best destination yun that is closest to the city when it comes to beaches. When we talk about the longest stretch of beach in Cebu siguro, although dili pa ko ni confirm, but starting from Tangke, padung dito sa Puok, which is the entirety of Talisay, that is actually a very long stretch of beach. Dili na lang kita na makita karon because siguro urban planning, wala kayo nakuha na to. And so may tabo karon is that maputol-putol na ang beach tungod sa mga balay nga naa didto. But taas jud na siya. Yun, even now, ang nahabilin na lang among gisukod mga around 80 meters of beach, pero nagyapoy mga tao nga mga ligo didto coming from the city because the closest sea manggod nga pwedeng kaliguan would be for Argao, Mualbual, nga mga arang-arang na yun. But so ang pinakaduol yun during that period was Talisay. And since there is an influx of people, then of course business would boom as well. And the creation of different pools like the Roman Campo, Moroca, the USPF pool, and estates of Father Pablo Fernandez, nagtukos lang mga swimming pool dito, further invited a lot of tourists. And then of course, mangaon magyud ng mga tao. So dito na naghinay og sugod. That's why we refer to this period as the first commercialized lechon. Because although pigs were being sold, lechon was not really sold lang. Gikuan pa na siya sa mga pista. But during this time, they started cooking na lechon every Sunday. Nya parisan da yung puso. Nya kuan. Nya ligo da yun sa dagat. Diba? Nindot kay na ligo sa dagat. Nya balik na sad. Wala pa may cook siguro during that period. Then we have Nanay Susana Inhambre. Nanay Susana Inhambre is actually very important para namo because he is one of the pioneering figures in the commercialization of lechon and often referred to as the mother of Talisay's commercial lechon. In the 1940s, she embarked on the venture of selling lechons as the esquinita where Moroca once stood, and it was Nanay Susana that actually added the star anise in the preparation of the lechon. Or karang gitawag na to nga, sa Visayan na star anise, sangke. Sangke, yes. And right now, if makabantay ta, di na juga makakitag lechon nga walay star anise na nagyon na pirmi gyud. Then we have Teresa Mansia or Nanay Ising. He is another notable Talisaynon who ventured into the lechon business during this era. And of course, she embarked on her lechon selling business in 1945, further contributing to the growing economic significance of lechon in Talisay. And next slide, sir. Thank you. So right now, lechon is now an image of tourism in Talisay. We have the Inasal Festival, and of course, Talisay is now called as the lechon capital of the Philippines. There was actually a time nga, I do not mean any disrespect, but there was actually a time nga ang Karkar mo ay gitawag nila nga lechon capital because nihinay magud ni siya gamay, kay ang Karkar manggod during that period, kay maoy ni sikat because people would go to the south, muhunong dito sa market sa Karkar. And what happened in Talisay manggod was that during the 1950s, the town, the city hall, the poblasyon, naa dito sa center tanan. Later on, nabalhin magunas la sa SRP. So, ang dagan sa mga tao, wala na nabot dito. So, karon ang gibuhat sa city tourism karon is that they actually started the Lechon Park in Talisay. If you are a follower of Mark Wins, murag niadto sila dito and other mga food bloggers. So, ni anam-anam na gyud siya og balik gyud. And this accorded its rightful place as one of the most vital cultural heritage to be protected. This heritage stood as a symbol of honor, truly representing Tatak Talisaynon and serving as a testament to the town's rich and flavorful culinary legacy. Before we end, I would like to share you garang gamay nga story when I was growing up. mo skwela ko sa una, gamay pa ko, kaya't pa kita, mumata jud ko sa balikas sa akong inahan. Nya kibaw mo mga inahan sa Bisaya, kung Bisaya, di ba, kusog na mamalikas. Then ang iyang pinimigay isulti nako, si Ploy bangon na lawgi ng baboy. Nya di wala na magibalig ang baboy, we're actually preparing that for the fiesta. Nya ikaw bago pa kagid ni mata, bata pa ka, sumutubag-tubag ka sa imong mama. Mingon sa ka ba nga, ngano magsige magagbuhi og baboy nay, nga mo tay kwarta. And then mo na din ako nanay, di ko kalimot nga okay raman na maghikay ka pero lahi jud kuno ang hikay basta na lechon. And I would like to end my discussion with that note. Thank you kayo everyone. Thank you.